What I'm going to do is I'll go through some of the concepts, then maybe in the second half I'll actually critique some of these materials. Sound good? In fact, after today, you will be able to critique these materials yourself. Because most of them suck. They don't work. But you will know by the end of the workshop why they don't work and what to do instead. You will know way more about the power of the written words than 99% of business owners out there. Sound good? Yeah. Cool. So here's how it's going to work. So how to turn words into cash. Now what am I talking about? I'm talking about the skill of copywriting. So let me ask you a question first of all. When I say this, most entrepreneurs have no clue what exactly is copywriting. They're thinking, or are you thinking like trademark? Like copyright, R-I-G-H-T? No. So tell me, what, from your point of view, what exactly is copywriting? Just yell the answer. Clickbait. Clickbait?
Writing copy.
What do you mean? Marketing, okay.
Convincing, like writing in a way that convinces people to do something.
Yeah, writing in a way that convinces people to do something. Not bad, yes?
No.
Yes.
Persuasive copy.
Persuasive copy, yes.
Modeling something that already works and replacing it with your own content.
Okay, model something already works and replace it with own content, yes?
Excited, impulsing them to take action or to buy.
Okay, motivate them, get them excited to buy, yes?
It's your written communication.
Written communication.
Express the value of your business.
To express the value. Now notice, how many can hear a lot of different definitions? Yes? That's the first issue. Because people get confused. Is it marketing? Is it advertising? Is it the written words? Is it to get them excited? Exactly what do I do with this thing? So is it beneficial to just, let's define that as a first step, yes? So there's no confusion. So what exactly is copywriting? The old definition of copywriting by many, many good copywriters from the past, we're talking about 20, 30, 50 years ago, is copywriting is salesmanship in print. Ladies, it could also be saleswomanship in print. Just for now, the old definition is copywriting is salesmanship in print. Now the key word being there is sales. What's the key word? Sales. Now sales, it means we're here, it's writing that has only one purpose, and it's to what? Sell. It's to sell. It is to sell. So salesmanship in print. And I think that's a pretty good definition, but I think it's a little bit out of date compared to now. We also have social media, Facebook, a lot of different things. When copywriters, marketers came up with that definition many years ago, we were talking about printed advertising. We are talking about like direct mail sales letters. But now there's so many other forms of media. Yes? Yes. So here's my new definition. Write this down. Copywriting is using the written word. Using the what? Written word to start, enhance, or extend a relationship with a customer that includes salesmanship or saleswomanship in print. I'll say that again. Copywriting is using the written word to start, enhance, or extend a relationship with a customer that includes salesmanship in print. Okay, that's the new definition. New definition. How many of you like this definition better? Okay, it covers a broader spectrum. Start, enhance, or extend a relationship. You got it? Okay. So with copywriting, so why is that important? Who could tell me? Why is that important?
Because you need to know the objective exactly.
Okay, you need to know the objective. Okay, but why is copywriting important?
Gets your message across.
It gets your message out there? Okay.
Building relationship.
Building relationship? Okay.
It's like dating.
It's like dating. How?
Because well, you start the relationship, enhance the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
extend the relationship, and when you finally, whatever your base is, I guess, then that's
No,
when
but
you-
why is that important though? Why is copywriting important?
I believe because it's selling and it can sell by itself. You can distribute it and it's working by itself.
Getting close, getting close. Yes.
Credibility,
Credibility, part of it.
reminders, interest.
engaging.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. How does that relate to making money? Why is it important when it comes to...
Influencing.
Influencing, yes.
Inspiring people to take action.
Yes. But why not just sales? Why copywriting? It's what? Good answer. Here's the thing. How many of you were here last month when I did the public speaking workshop? Remember what I said? Communication equals what? Wealth. Write this down. Communication equals wealth. So if communication equals wealth, it means the more people you communicate to, you deliver your value to, the more money you're going to make. Yes? Yes. So if you're selling one-on-one, what's your ratio? It's what? 1 to 1. If you're selling to 1 to 50, 100, your ratio is 1 to what? 100. Now, but with copywriting, what is your ratio? You guys hear that? Cha-ching. Somebody just bought something from my website. And I'm not there selling without my physical presence. Another cha-ching. Somebody just bought something from my website. I'm not there. It's simply the power of my written words. You think of all the forms of communication skill. Sales. How many have heard of the saying, sales is the number one ability that an entrepreneur needs to have, yes? And I agree, to start with. You can't even sell on one-on-one, forget about being an entrepreneur. Forget about being a successful entrepreneur. And then once you develop that, if you're good, then you might one to many. Now I'm talking one to many, many, many more without you being there. And that's the power of the written words because of the word leverage. What's the word? Leverage. And it's 24/7. And it's 24/7. And what's fascinating is this. As important as this skill, I believe of all the skills of business, copywriting is one of the most valuable. And it's the one that made me the most amount of money. And one of the least understood and least appreciated. One of the least understood and least because whenever I talk about copywriting, first of all, people are not interested in it. They're just not interested in it. You talk to an entrepreneur, yes, I want to learn how to sell. Great. Copywriting, what the hell is that? I'm not a writer. Nah. But they would spend hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on driving traffic, on running their ads, on media, but they never look at does the copy actually work and convert. They would spend $10,000 for marketing budget, they will not spend $1,000 on the copy. Puzzles me. Least understood and least appreciated. And with entrepreneurs, they don't understand the power of the written words. But with you, after today, I think you see this is an area you need to pay attention to, regardless of what marketing you do. Regardless. Make sense? So, least understood, least appreciated. And that's the good news. That's actually the good news. Why? And I'm not asking you to be, how many of you believe you're not a good writer? Just be honest. You're like, in writing is not my thing. Okay, I'm more like a verbal communicator. Yes. I'm not asking you to be a writer. My goal for this workshop is for you to just know enough that you would be able to tell the difference between bad copy and good copy. That's my goal for you. So then when you hire a professional or you work with somebody or you're doing your own copy, you will know, okay, yeah, no, that doesn't work. So that other writers or things like they cannot bullshit you. Does that make sense? So just know enough that you know the difference. Maybe you cannot write good copy, but you can see for sure that's not good copy. I gotta fix that. How many follow what I'm saying? Yes? So that's my goal. So how I got into copywriting is my mentor, Alan Jacks, my first mentor, also my copywriting mentor, Alan Jacks. And Alan used to run a very successful financial seminar company called Business Breakthrough Technologies. And he was the first guy that brought actually Robert Kiyosaki. How many heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad to Vancouver. He was the first one that ever did that. And Alan taught me how to write copy in my early 20s. And it was a difficult process because English is not my first language. How many of you can tell? Okay, and I flung English. Actually, I actually flung English when I was in high school. So from a guy who flung English when I was, English was not my first language. So learning copywriting, it's extremely difficult. I remember at that time I was trying to get clients. I was doing a little bit of advertising, and I was trying to do cold calling to business owners, trying to get some business. And the business owners would tell me that, well, hey man, like on the phone, you cannot even speak proper English. How the hell can you write my stuff? Like, it doesn't even make sense. So it was very, very difficult. But I'm glad I was persistent through that period of time. Over time, it got a little easier and a little easier, and I was actually fascinated by something like that. When the first time when I sent out a direct mail piece, you guys know what direct mail is? Okay, when I sent out a direct mail piece, that the response, I got money, I got a check in the mail from people I've never met, I've never seen, I've never talked to, purely through my written words. I was corrupted forevermore. Because I could see the power of like, holy shit, I've never met these people, it was a mailing address, I sent it this database, and they sent me money. Now, as an entrepreneur, what goes in through your mind? Let's do more of this. This is good. This is a good thing. So, and that's what went through my mind. And with Alan's mentor, copywriting mentor, is actually a guy named Gary Howard. And Gary passed away a few years ago. And Gary, a lot of people would say, arguably one of the greatest copywriters of all time. Back in so many, many years ago, Gary was making millions. We're talking about 10, 15, 20 years ago. Gary was charging $15,000 to write a letter, plus royalties. And his company were mailing millions and millions of pieces, direct mail, not email shit, direct mail, millions and millions of pieces every year. So if your copy doesn't work, you cannot mail that many pieces. Does that make sense? So that's how he honed his craft. So Alan learned from Gary, and I learned from Alan. And with me, how I started as a freelance copywriter, after I've learned from Alan for close to 1 year, basically worked for him for next to nothing for 1 year. And I always refer to that year as the $1 million year of my life, because I got $1 million years worth of education from Alan. So he taught me how to write copy, how to write headline, how to come up with offer. And then I started as my own, you could say, one-man advertising agency. Started writing ads for people. Now, because as I was sharing with you, young guy, broken English, couldn't get clients. How many can see it's a bit of a challenge, yes? So what I did is I come up with an irresistible offer. What did I come up with? So I was calling these business owners and say, you know what? I am a copywriter. And I can see your ad. And at the time, it was Yellow Pages. You guys remember those? Yellow Pages? Okay. And I would look at the one who is spending the most amount of money, running half a page or full page. That means they're spending a little bit of money on the ad, right? I would contact them and say, you know what, I'm a copywriter, and I know, maybe I'm new, I don't have a whole lot of experience, but here's what I'm willing to do. Let me rewrite your stuff, okay? And if you're not happy with it, don't pay me. But if it works, then you pay me, $500 or $800. Now, did everybody say yes? No. But I got enough people saying yes that I started building my own little client base. Does that make sense? So it was like a do or die kind of copywriting thing. I call that the gun to the head copywriting. Meaning a guy is like, this has to work or otherwise I don't eat. And that's how I hone my craft. And after a while, at first some ads were good, some ads were not good, but then as I learn more, I can see certain patterns. Certain what? Patterns. Like I would write in a certain way and this would get more orders versus I wrote in some other way. And I started writing down those type of things, and then after a couple of years, I published my first book online, and now it's also available on Amazon called Influence. And you guys should get it. It's like $10 on Amazon, but you should get it. And I wrote that book and talks about some of the principles, actually 47 of them, that I've learned of what worked and what doesn't work. And that's how I started my career. In my early 20s, I was charging a couple grand for a marketing piece, a sales letter, work with 4 or 5 clients per month. So I was making about $10,000 a month. How many think that's decent money? 10 grand a month in my early 20s as a copywriter. And that's how then I evolved into marketing and internet marketing and using some of, I think one of the reasons, people would say, well, Dan, one of the reasons you've made a lot of money online because of your timing. And I agree with that because when I got into it, it was early and there wasn't a whole lot of competition. Yes, I think timing has to do with it, but I think also it has to do with the foundational skill, the copywriting skill that I've built up. Then when I took it online, when I have these, because it's the same. When I was doing direct mail, when I put a long sales letter online, it works. And that's how I think it's accelerated my success. How many follow what I'm saying? So that's how important this is a skill. So it's a skill that I have, I've developed over the years. It's a skill that I value. And I'm sharing with you that I think it's a skill that maybe you don't need to develop this, but at least how many would think it's beneficial to learn a little bit about it, yes? That's what I'm going to talk about.